When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and we're getting in the summer, y'all. It is getting hot. I am just going to say, I love the 60-degree weather and 50-degree weather coming out of Arizona. And our guest today, Cindy Dodd's coming out of Florida. And so I know there is a lot of humidity that's happening for her coming up now as we're approaching the summer. And I love to cool it down. I'm just saying, I was sitting at a game last night for my grandson, and my daughter looked at me and she's like, I hate the summer, because we were just sitting there like our butts were just sweating in the chairs, and we were just sticking to the chair. I mean, it's not even that hot yet. It was 95 yesterday. And I'm like, 110 is coming, in Arizona. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I do not want that to happen. And so I will tell you, the more you hustle in your business, the harder it is, the more you're going to sweat. And I see so many business owners out there doing this hustle, and nothing drives me crazier than when I tell someone, hey, kind of give me an idea of what your day looks like, because you've got to be doing things differently. They're like, I don't have any time to do anything else. I'm so busy. And I'm like, but you're not making any money. So what are you so busy doing? That's where Cindy Dodd comes in, because scaling your lead flow is actually the biggest game changer in your business for the hustle. It really is. So when people are like, oh my gosh, I'm just working too hard, I'm like, you're working on the things that are doing nothing for your business. So you've got to change it up. Today, if you were able to scale your lead flow without you actually having to do a lot of the work, how many of you want to put your hands up and say, yes, I want that? Scream it out loud. Say, yes, I want that. Unless you're in a library, please be quiet. But if you're in your car, scream it out. And I just think it'll be funny, because everyone will be looking at you and they're like, what is she listening to? And you can say, take the leap, baby. That's what we're listening to over here. So before I get to Cindy, though, we all know that we have sponsors, and we love our sponsors on Take the Leap. And we want to thank Animated Holiday Lights for being the sponsor of today's show. And at our company, we're dedicated to transforming spaces into extraordinary wonderlands through our expertly crafted permanent light installations on your home. With a team of skilled professionals and passion for spreading joy and cheer, we strive to create captivating light displays that leave a lasting impression, and you never need to climb a ladder again. Our lights can dance to music, any song, any color, any holiday. So from residential homes to commercial properties, our permanent light installers are designed to enhance the beauty and festive spirit of any location. We take pride in our attention to detail, using high quality materials and advanced techniques to create stunning visual experiences that surpass expectation. Join us on this magical journey as we bring the holiday spirit to life through our dancing permanent light installations. And I always like to remind everyone, do not wait until the holidays to get this done. It's the most expensive, and they're the busiest. You always want to have it done in the summer, because they always offer the best discounts. So visit animatedholidaylights.com today and let them create an enchanting holiday experience that will leave a lasting impression. I have these on my house. I love them. I am the house in the neighborhood that everybody knows because of these animated holiday lights. So just saying, I absolutely love them. And I used to have to be the one on the ladder. No more am I on the ladder. It's the best thing ever. Okay, let's get to Cindy Dodd, who is our guest on today's show. And Cindy Dodd is the co-founder and COO of Pima.io, a multi-million-dollar outbound marketing agency that has helped over 700 companies scale their lead flow and revenue using outbound systems. She's a global speaker and has been featured in renowned publications like Entrepreneur Magazine and networks like Fox News, Business Talk Radio, ABC, CBS, and the Empower and Elevate conference that we just had in March. Cindy was on our stage, and she was amazing. Cindy, welcome to today's show.
Yay, awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Colleen. I'm so excited about today's conversation.
I want to back up, because I know you were a coach at one point, but I really want to back up because I know that there was a point in your life, and I think everyone looks at who you are today and what you've built today, and they're like, oh, look at her. But they don't realize like the struggles that you went through to get to where you are and how you created something that solved a problem, not only for yourself, but for other people. So take us through a little bit of a journey. My listeners love stories. So take us through a
Yes.
journey of, I mean, I heard it from stage and I was just like, this girl's fantastic. She's
Thank you. I
amazing.
mean,
Yeah.
yes. So I think any success, quote unquote success, I feel like I'm still on that journey to getting to my ultimate goals. But every one of us has these moments, I call them pivotal moments or light bulb moments that change the trajectory of our lives and our businesses. So my story is one where I grew up in Johannesburg, South Africa. If anyone's wondering where my accent is from, I'm South African, born and raised. I moved to the US in 2014, but I started my career off in wealth management. I always thought I was going to climb the corporate ladder. I had no intention of being a business owner, at least not anytime soon after I graduated. I was like, maybe one day I'll own a business, but for now, I want to climb the corporate ladder. I had my eyes set on doing really well in corporate. So I landed a job out of college, and because I landed a role so quickly and was doing really well in my career, I would have my peers ask me, like, how did you get a job so quickly out of college? Like, what are the tips? What are the secrets? Let us in. And so I just started a blog. I started writing about how to land a job out of college. I started doing kind of tips about resumes and interview, all of that. And I absolutely loved that topic. And so my blog started to take off. People started to share my blog. I got so much positive feedback. And at that time, I was still working for the wealth management company. We were actually working out of a WeWork in Miami. And that's also where I met my husband, Tim. So he was working out of there. Tim's always been an entrepreneur, and his company was based out of that same WeWork. So we'd meet each other in the hallways. We'd kind of see each other day to day. He'd come up to me. He was always very friendly. If anybody knows Tim, he's an extrovert, very friendly, speaks to everybody. And he saw what I was doing with my blog, and he's like, hey, you should do something about that, potentially monetize it. Tim was in marketing. He's really good at seeing an idea and saying, hey, like, let's market the heck out of that. And so he gave me the idea to start a course. And I did. I put together a course. I started kind of selling it and promoting it online. And that was kind of the little doorway that I had into coaching and career coaching. People started taking my advice and landing amazing jobs. So I was kind of at the intersection where I knew that the advice that I was giving people was helping them land new careers. And I was at this place where I was doing well in the wealth management firm, but my heart wasn't there. And I'm sure your listeners can attribute or even relate to a point where you may be really good at something, but the passion's not there. The love for the work is not there. And so I was at a crossroads where I could stay in corporate and potentially make really good money and do well in my career, but not be passionate or love what I do. Or I could go fully into this coaching business that was thriving and started to pick up. And I made the decision to, as you would say, take the leap. And I went fully into my career coaching company. Within the first, I'll backtrack. Before I talk about the success, within the first 18 months, we did about 300 new clients. Right around the time when my husband and I got married, I wasn't having too much success with the career coaching. It was really early on. I had just gone fully into it. So it was not enough to, I'd say, pay all the bills, right? So I was relying on my husband, Tim's income. He was running his business. But around that same time, around January 2020, his business crashed. So we kind of reached a point where I had just started the new company, gone all into career coaching, poured all my passion and my heart into starting this, taking the leap. And then we were faced with this really big blow and this challenge where his company had completely crashed. So we had no income, we had no new money coming in. We spent all of our money on the wedding, and we had to figure out, like, what do we do next? And Colleen, that's probably one of the most difficult, most challenging times that I've been through in my life, in my career.
Yeah.
It was ground zero. And you think about the thoughts that run through your mind, like, did I make the right decision? Should I have just stayed where I was? Was it worth it to give all of that up to start this new business that has nothing coming in yet? And now we find ourselves in this really, really tough position. But we made it work. And that was actually around the time when my husband and I partnered up as well. And we decided we're going to build a company together. I know what it's like running operations. I was really good at people, talent acquisition. I'd done the career coaching thing. He was really good at marketing and sales. My husband's brilliant at that. And we had just combined forces. We have very complementary skills, and we decided to rebuild together from scratch.
Oh, man. Okay. So that is why most people are afraid to leave corporate America. That's their biggest fear. What happens if I hit rock bottom and ground zero? And I always think, like, what's the worst that can happen? So you run out of money, you hit ground zero, you hit the bottom. There's nowhere to go up from there, or nowhere to go from there but up, right?
Yep.
So you get to then choose, what is it that I want to do for the rest of my life? And the two of you joining forces, I love that you said he had strengths, you had strengths. I really feel like that's the best partnership to have in any business partners, whether you're married or not, because you don't overstep each other based on your strengths and what you do. And you really play in your area. My husband and I are the same way. He's all about product and training. I'm all about operations and, building businesses. So we work well when it comes to franchising. So you had a light bulb moment for the two of you, and you were like, why don't we just combine our strengths? Because we're so good at what we do. And why marketing lead flow? Why helping businesses scale their lead flow? Where did that come from? Is that something that was a piece of Tim's business prior to? And so you kind of took a piece of your business, a piece of his business, and added some other to build Pima.io. Explain that. Like, where did it come from? People are always like, how do I get these ideas? Or how do I know what type of business to build that's going to generate the type of income I need?
Yeah. So it was initially Tim's, we call it Pima 1.0. Tim's business was doing that, generating leads, getting appointments. And the missing piece, the reason why his business had crashed, was because he wasn't good at the operations side. Tim is excellent in marketing and sales. He can go out and get clients and close people on the phone, and he's really good at sales. But the missing piece as to why the business crashed and to the point where it was because he didn't have the operations piece, the client success, the culture, the right people on the team. He reached a point where all of his employees pretty much sabotaged the company from the inside out. So it was lacking culture. Yeah. So that was the part that I was really good at: culture, people, client success, operations. And I had some skills that I didn't know I had in marketing too, that through this process of us working together have been revealed. Like, I'm really good at copywriting and I love copy. I'm great at creating offers. I know what sells, but those are skills that kind of came out of us trying this new venture together. But we have very complementary skills. And I agree 100%. Any spouse, partner, or business relationship, you have to be complementary. One person, potentially a visionary, they can cast vision. They're great at seeing the big picture, new ideas. And the other person has to be really good at operating, right? Really good at execution, really good at the operations side of it. Because if you have two visionaries, like, who's going to execute, right? Yeah. And if you have two integrators, who's going to cast the vision and see the future and see the goal? So visionary and integrator, so important.
Yeah. I'm give me the hammer and the nails and let me build the damn house. That's it. Like, I already know I'm an activator and an implementer. Like, I am so about the implementation of something. And to sit back in meetings where people are talking about vision, I'm like, I can only take so much of this. And then I've got to bolt. Like, I just know my personality. I'm a dude. Let's get this done. I execute, very quickly. And I once I see the vision, it's like, that's all I need. Great. I got it. Now
let's go.
Just get me out there, right? Let me loose. Yeah. I'm sure many of the listeners feel that way too. So if you do, make sure you email us at info@collingbiggs.net. I'd love to hear, how you feel about that and your personality. Are you an activator? Are you an implementer? Are you more of a visionary? I call them dreamers, but they've got to be there as long as they have someone that can activate for them or with them on their team, right? Okay. Absolutely. So let's get into the meat of this, because you talked a lot about outbound marketing. So we think a lot about inbound, right? Inbound calls that come in, or, meeting individuals. How is I see a lot of people in my industry networking, meeting one-on-one, having those sales conversations. And that's really how they kind of bring in people one by one by one. But if you've worked with over 700 companies, you're talking about being able to scale these companies to where you individually at Pima.io, you're putting out outbound marketing so that those are flowing in. Do you want to explain how that method works a little bit?
Absolutely. For sure. So for people that are not familiar with outbound marketing, we do specifically direct outreach. So direct outreach simply means you are going out into the market to attract or to meet your ideal client. So this could be something like a cold DM. So you're messaging somebody directly in their inbox on Instagram, or sending somebody a direct message on LinkedIn, or sending somebody an email. And with direct outbound or cold outreach, you're reaching out to people who don't know you yet. So if somebody, the way a lot of business owners start out is they have a website, they have their brand, and they put up their website and they're waiting for people to come to them. Right. So it's like, this is great. My branding's up, my website's up, and they're waiting, right? And they think that that's enough, but it's a very passive way of doing marketing. Anybody that comes to your website either knows you or they've had some intent where they're coming to you for help with a certain problem. With outbound, we are going out into the market to find people that need your service. I always look at that statistic that says we're only really tapping into about 5% of our total addressable market. So if I'm a coach and I know that I can service 100% of these people that need help with their careers, people that are coming to me looking for my service are probably less than 5%. That means that 95% of the market who needs my service does not know about me just yet, but they have a need. They have a problem and they need a solution. So what cold outreach or direct outreach allows you to do is to reach those people that need your product or service, but don't know about you just yet.
Yeah, I love that. And it's beautiful because these are new leads, right? Fresh leads. These aren't people that you have already maybe had in your circle. And that's why getting on stages like Cindy did on mine, those are fresh leads, right? Those are all 140 new people in the room that she hadn't met yet, right? And get to share her story. And so do you have these automated? Is this somehow where a company works with you? Is it month to month? Is it a package deal? How do you propose someone who, let's use mine for an example, someone new that is launching a business, like my husband and I are launching a franchise. So it's like, okay, well, we obviously want to reach drone pilots and people that are interested in starting a franchise and on and on. And so when someone's brand new, what are some of the suggestions that you would give and how they work with Pima? And then I would also say maybe someone who has been in the business for a long time and has an established business, but they definitely need to scale and bring in more lead flow. Do you approach them differently? Is there a different approach to the process on how that works?
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things that we do up front with a really new business owner, potentially new being either you've just started the business, or new could also mean you're not familiar with, you don't have a sales process. You're not as familiar with selling people directly on a call. That could also be classified as new, right? You don't have a proven lead flow or proven sales process. We build end-to-end client acquisition systems. That simply means that we start to generate the leads for you. We then install that into your company, and we get a virtual assistant to take over the system so that you can keep getting leads month over month and not have to pay us an ongoing retainer. If you're really early on, you don't have $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month to spend on marketing. And that's not where your money should be going, right? You should be focused on new leads coming in a way that's cost effective and profitable for your business. So we charge an upfront fee where we can actually build it out for you. You start generating the leads, and all you have to do is meet up with your virtual assistant to keep the lead flow going. What's great about that is it's profitable for a company. They have ownership over their system, which is great. And they're learning the process of lead flow and client acquisition. So that's if it's an early stage company, we're really building the system. And what our clients love about it is we're very detail oriented. We have the data and the stats, and we're simply installing that process in their company that they know week over week, month over month, how many leads are coming in and what they have to do to kind of scale up. So that's kind of one way that we work with companies. On the other side, if they are more established, meaning they have a proven sales process or they need a lot of volume of leads. So maybe they have a sales team or they can handle a lot of flow. We have a monthly retainer service where our team is doing all of the outreach and we're just throwing the leads onto the calendar for their sales team to catch and close.
Nice. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So where would anyone go to learn more about this, Cindy? Where do you think they should click, connect with you? Do you want them to go to Instagram, your website? Where do you love to have your leads travel that are brand new listening to you on a podcast for the first time?
Yes, definitely Instagram. I think Instagram is awesome to connect. So it's at Cindy Makita, CindyMakita on Instagram. Send me a DM. You and I can have a conversation. We can go back and forth and see what the next step is for you. So I have a lot of free resources. I have a podcast as well. So there's a lot of free resources to kind of learn more about direct outreach or cold outreach. If you're not familiar with it, we have a lot of YouTube videos. Or if you're like, hey, Cindy, I just want to know how you can help my business, we can then communicate about getting on a call with our team so we can map out what that custom strategy would look like for you, because every business is different. And any marketing agency that's selling you a blanket kind of, do it yourself or a blanket kind of service is probably doing you a disservice. So everything that we do is custom. So we can really dive into your business and see what is the best route for you. Who's the best target audience? How can you get the quickest ROI with our service? So I'd say Instagram is the best way to get in touch and we can have a conversation from there.
Great. So Instagram, Cindy Makita. You can also go to Pima.io. We've said that several times throughout this conversation. And Cindy and I will be having a conversation after this for Phoenix Drone Pros for sure. I want to talk to her team. When you just like somebody and you just feel like, I trust this person. That's how Cindy is. Like, I don't even know if you guys can feel that through the mic, but she is just the kindest person. And I totally would trust her with any of my businesses. So, Cindy, I'm excited that we know now that if someone's starting a brand new business, there's a place for them with you, because that's the hardest piece. And it's the number one reason why everyone closes their doors.
Yes.
I don't know if everybody heard that, but it's the hardest piece. And it's the number one reason why everyone closes their doors. There's not enough lead flow. You're not making enough money. You work, you work, you work. And then you're like, oh, I traded this corporate job for an 80 an hour a week job that I made for myself. And now I'm out of business. And it's sad. No one wants to go out of business. I mean, obviously Tim had his, staff kind of sabotage him, but most businesses, it's going to be because you don't have enough money, right? It's a money thing. It always comes down to the money. And if you don't have the lead flow, you don't have the money. You're not generating any income. So I love what you're doing, because this service is needed for every company out there. So whatever stage you're at in your business, check her out at Cindy Makita on Instagram. Go to Pima.io. Connect with Cindy. Please, you can email them at Pima@Pima.io. Please connect with them and make sure that you're looking into this for your business, because I promise you, you can afford it. I promise you, you can afford this to get started. I know you can. And I know Cindy and Tim are going to take great care of you. So Cindy, thank you so much for being a guest on today.
Thank you so much for having me. You're such a joy to chat with and connect with. So I appreciate you so much. And thanks to all your listeners. I look forward to connecting with you all on Instagram.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm just going to remind them all, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that will ever be. and the only you that's ever started this business ever that you are running. If you want to be proud of yourself, if you're still out there trying to prove to someone that you can build a business, then hire Cindy, hire their company, get your lead flow rolling. This is the number one thing, like I said, that shuts most businesses down. So take this step. It's the best investment you'll ever make. Stop buying all these e-courses online. Stop going to all these other things and just do this one thing for your business. I promise it'll change it. All right, everyone, with that, until next time, be you and be strong. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery, where you learned the tools to create a life by design. Remember, you are the only you there is, and you are the only you that will ever be. Be you and be strong, because you are brilliant, and the world needs you at your best. We cannot wait for you to join us again next time.